My pod is Boston, my pod is pure. I've got a Mukka, his name is Jord. It's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod, and we're gonna talk about some characters that ain't even real, and hope someone gives a shit. Ah, kid. There you go. Hi everyone, welcome to Mukkapod, the weekly one-stop shop for all things concerning geek culture and fandoms, whether it's TV, gaming, anime, movies, comic books, you name it, we've got it, and if we ain't got it, y'all don't fucking need it. I'm your host, Jamie, and with me is my lovely counterpart. He gets more beautiful every week. He's booking for children's parties. He'll bring his own jelly and ice cream. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan. How are you, Jord?
Oh, I'm good. I'm going to bleep my last name, but that was an amazing intro, mate. Thank you very much.
I've been working on it, man. I'm going to set the tone for the podcast as well. So this is a little bit of show and tell before we get into it. And I think you'll appreciate this. I was looking through some of my old stuff the other day, and I found this Professor X toy. It's a cool toy. It's got Patrick Stewart's likeness. I think it's from the movie. But the one thing that entertains me about this is if you can get him out of the wheelchair. They've took the time. This is canonical. They took the time to cripple him. So even he couldn't just stand up for shit if he wanted to. Even his action figure is fucking crippled. So that is amazing. And I thought that you might appreciate it.
I do.
So,
it's wonderful.
So this is Mukkapod. What we do every week is we cherry pick some topics that have been going on in the news. We haven't got any sources or hot scoops or that kind of thing. So if you want to know everything that's gone on this week, we're probably not the people to be listening to. But if you want some quality Black Country opinions, this is the podcast you come to. So we're going to go through some of the topics this week that we've kind of cherry picked. We're going to discuss them, and then we've got a main topic that we're going to go into, and then towards the end we're just going to see how's it going. We're going to have a little bit of a chat, 10 minutes, and just sort of debrief, and yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's been a busy week this week.
I've been looking forward to this, mate.
No, yeah, let's rip into it then. Okay, so our top story this week appears to be that James Gunn, we know him, we love him. He has been working on a Suicide Squad movie and tweeted out this week that the Suicide Squad is fully finished and cut. I made every single choice and they never once even slightly interfered. They gave very few notes. They were usually good and... they gave very few notes and they were usually good and minor. And I took them if I wanted, and I didn't if I didn't want to. Warner's was creatively amazing. So, Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, that's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean,
James Gunn had a lovely time working with Warner Brothers. What's your...
Yeah, so I think they've learned from their past mistakes with that, and I think especially they definitely brought James Gunn on board and can see, right, he made Guardians something incredible. He knows what he's doing. Let's just leave him to it. And that's... I'm really grateful that they've done that. I think we might actually get a good film out of it because of it.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think when you get someone like James Gunn, who's got such a creative vision and was obviously allowed to play in his sandbox at Marvel, you don't want to look like the people that are interfering. Do you know what I mean? No. It's a bit of a shame that they've allowed James Gunn this much freedom, but totally micromanaged. Was it David Ayer who made the original?
Believe so.
Yes, yeah, they totally micromanaged his version of it, and so that's a bit of a shame in that respect. But yeah, it does literally look like it's gonna have that Guardians tone and feel. Like some of the costumes are really out there, and some of the characters that they're using, like King Shark and Polka Dot Man and all these kind of obscure comic characters. So we might actually get this year as well, because it is a Warner Brothers production and they are very gung-ho with putting their stuff on HBO Max. So this...
Oh, you see, I'd be inclined to agree with you, but I think they know this is going to be a big draw. Right,
so yeah, I think that they might be putting stuff out in cinemas as well. Do you know what I mean? Like for where they are available. But
I think maybe you might get a month delay between the two or something like that.
Yeah, but like at least it might be something that we get this year at least. Do you know what I mean? And it's nice to hear that he had a good time And now he can just get to work on Guardians 3 for us now, and we can put all this messy kind of stuff that happened with James behind us, and just hopefully start just getting some good films there. So
Yeah.
brilliant. All right, Zack Snyder's been swinging his dick around a little bit this week, mate. He's been sharing a lot of stuff from the Snyder Cut, which is getting a trailer tomorrow. So unfortunately, we're a bit of a day late and a dollar short. That's not our fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's Zack Snyder's fault.
Zack Snyder strikes again.
Absolutely, he's fucking us over. Like
Prick.
Tangentially fucking us over. But no, there's all sorts of stuff that he put out when the Super Bowl was going on. He shared a little tease of that football scene that was famously cut from the original Justice League. We've seen Darkseid, we've seen Black Suit Superman, but the main thing I wanted to touch on this week is that he shared quite an extensive look at Jared Leto's Joker, and he's changed his look. He's got longer hair. He's looking a bit meaner. He hasn't got the facial tattoos anymore. The scene that they seem to be sharing it from lines up with another production still that's come out of Nightmare Batman. So this is interesting to see that we might actually be getting like a face-to-face confrontation between Ben Affleck's Batman and Jared Leto's Joker. What do you think of the look, mate?
Better, definitely better. I'm jokered out, if I'm honest.
Yeah, too much Joker fatigue, man. It's a real thing.
Yeah, definitely. And also the character's been ruined by edgy kids on Facebook.
No, absolutely. I remember when Joker came out, and also It Chapter 2 came out in the same year, and that Halloween, just some of the pictures that I was seeing, it was
fucking clowns everywhere.
Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right. Yeah, you know that scene in Matilda where the fat kid eats a ton of cake?
I do.
That's what he looks like to me. Like he's just got all this shit round his mouth. It's like there's no rhyme nor reason. There's no Heath Ledger scars. There's no Joaquin Phoenix kind of stylistic stuff. And I know that they've probably removed the tattoos because they don't want it to be memed. But I'm still seeing like I said, the fat kid from Matilda with all the cake around his face. You know what I mean? And poor Jared Leto. He cannot catch a break, can he?
I hope he's good. I hope it works out for him. I mean, he's
he's
allegedly a bit of a knob, but whatever. He seems to put effort into his craft.
He's a method actor. You know what I mean? So that would automatically make somebody a knob. I think it's sort of like just turn up, pretend to be the Joker, stand on your X and say your lines and stuff like that. I don't know whether I haven't heard anything about him sending used condoms or dead rats to Ben Affleck this time. Do you know what I mean?
Bullets and weirdo.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, Zack Snyder actually did address the lack of tats. I've got a quote here. It's quite interesting. Which is basically, it's that old Simpsons joke of, well, if you notice something like that, a wizard did it. So what he says here, I would say there's been some water under the bridge. Who knows what happened? I don't know if he's wearing makeup. I don't know what's happening. It's hard to say. So, cheers for that, Zach.
What?
That's the quote. Yeah. So,
oh, okay.
He was asked about the tattoos, and basically, he's just said we day want him.
we day want him.
We day want him now. We've changed his look a little bit, which is fine. But yeah, we get a trailer for the Snyder Cut of Justice League tomorrow, so that'll probably be on next week's edition.
Yeah, I was going to say tomorrow as of filming. It'll be out by the time this is out, I'm sure.
No, yeah, absolutely. Also, we've got some bigwig from HBO Max has been talking about the DC shows. Kind of sowing the seeds that the DC shows, the Warner Brothers film, and the Arrowverse, the CW stuff, they all share one continuity. Basically,
yeah. So, I mean, this is something that I don't know if you remember. I floated to you. It must have been 5-6 years ago at this point, saying I'm pretty sure that's where they were going with it. It took them long enough. I mean, it was definitely obvious when they did the recent crossover.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Smallville, Clark Kent, and all of that coming back into it. but I think it makes sense. I don't see why it needs saying. It just
no, yeah, like you just said, I feel like they've kind of explicitly showed that, and this is kind of a bit of a redundant interview for me, because obviously you've had sort of like these Flashpoint crossovers where the TV Flash and the movie Flash have shared the screen together, and like you said, bringing in sort of Smallville Superman and stuff like that, doing a Crisis kind of TV event. It was kind of shown to us. We don't need to be told, but the guy's name is Casey Blois. Casey Blois. That's a sexy name. That is. And basically, he's just said, on one Earth you have Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, and Ezra Miller as this Justice League, and you can continue telling these stories. While on another Earth, you have more grounded, real Year 2 Batman. There is that one Earth, that the greater Earth with this existing Justice League, and another that's sort of happening with Year 2 Batman. So it's kind of pulling in Matt Reeves' Batman as well, and just sort of saying anything that we do going forward, DC is all in one kind of continuity.
Yeah, it just sort of opens them up to do whatever they want. Go for it.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit reactionary.
Make good films. That's fine. Don't stop telling me about stuff. Just go make good films. That's all I care about.
It strikes me as kind of reactionary, is the last thing I wanted to say, because Marvel are doing multiverse stuff, and DC hasn't learned that, like, copying Marvel's business strategy in the same week that they're doing stuff just hasn't worked out for them so far, and trying to add more humour and a lighter tone to their movies didn't really pan out for them, and Marvel's doing multiverse stuff. Well, look, we've got a multiverse too. So as much as it just feel
a bit like that.
No, yeah, that's probably why we are being.
I think it's more like, we did it first, guys. We did this one first.
Like, we've always had a multiverse. You just didn't know it was there. You need a really high IQ to be into this DC stuff, allegedly. Right, we come to another chapter of Disney's unhinged corporate greed. So Disney, as we all know, purchased 20th Century Fox last year, and Blue Sky Studios, who have created like Ice Age and robots and things like that, have been shut down by Disney. Whether or not that's...
I don't see this as like unhinged corporate greed. I think it's just how things were.
Yes, but it's unhinged corporate greed, Joe, because then we can have a clickbaity thumbnail and get more views. So try that again. Unhinged corporate greed.
Fucking Disney.
Fucking Disney.
What's next?
No,
it's like, you've got Pixar. Why do you need Pixar Lite? You don't. Maybe they'll move some of the talented people over, but who didn't see this coming? I'm sure everyone who works at that studio thought, well, they ain't gonna need us now.
Yeah, no, they were polishing up those CVs the second that the merger went through. It strikes me as bizarre. It does strike me as bizarre, because they did a similar thing when they took over Lucasfilm, and they completely shut down LucasArts. And now that they...
Yeah, but that, I don't know, it's not like they had an amazing game studio themselves. So
no, this is true. This is true, but I don't see why you would spend billions and billions of money to absorb all these
billions of money.
Yeah, billions. I don't see why you would spend billions of money to absorb all these other studios, and then once you get there, shut everything down. Do you know what I mean?
It was for the X-Men, mate. That's all it was. That's all it was.
That does seem to be it, but they acquired so many intellectual properties.
No, okay. So I think the main reason for the whole acquisition was to stick a load of shit on Disney Plus.
Yes, and
which they are going to be doing shortly.
We're seeing that more now with Star, which is more of the adult side of Disney Plus, the stuff that can edge over PG-13. Would you think that the Ice Age intellectual property is going to get some more love from Disney, because it makes money? I think that squirrel Scrat is one of the most recognisable animated characters ever made.
Yeah, I think so. But if anything, they'll reboot. They'll start completely from scratch, new voice actors. Fuck off, Ray Romano. We're starting again.
Yeah.
and it's just because they've done it to death. We're on like Ice Age 17 or something like that, and no one's seen any of them like after the third.
I was going to say, I think the
first one was my favourite animated film as a kid.
Yeah, the first three are legitimately good. My son used to love them when he was like a just learning to talk baby. So it'll always kind of warm my heart. Those first three, and like the third one's got some legitimately funny comedy from Simon Pegg's character. He plays a weasel who's kind of like a crazy kind of pirate swashbuckling weasel, and that's actually got some legitimately good comedy in it.
They're decent films. The first three, I think it's a dead franchise. I think just let it. Not everything needs to come back. Not everything needs to be all of this. Just let it die and let's move on.
Yeah, that being said, though, I think maybe some of the minds currently working at like Pixar and Disney's own in-house animation department, I think they could do some good stuff with those characters and that aesthetic, but it would have to be like you said, scorched earth.
They'd make original.
Say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be better than anything that could make original.
That's true.
So I don't think they will. They might. I could be. Prove me wrong. Make a good film.
Well, do you know what the property makes money? So there's probably some idea on a whiteboard in a Disney office somewhere about Ice Age reboot ?
Yeah.
Yes. Okie dokie. So this one hurts me, man. This one hurts me to my core because it turns out that Joss Whedon, God of the Nerds, might be a bit of a dog shit bloke actually. So reports have come out this week. Amber Benson and Charisma Carper, and he's getting Me Too'd, essentially, is what's happening. Yeah. He's
more like Me Ford at this point.
I love it. I love everything about it. I need to find. I'm not going to go through her.
Did it work better before I did it on the podcast, or just?
I still love that joke, though. I still love it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, this kind of comes off the back of kind of what Ray Fisher has been doing and sharing his kind of treatment by Warner Brothers, but more specifically Joss Whedon. So Charisma Carpenter, who's a character on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, has come out, and she wrote quite a lengthy Instagram post about it, or Twitter post about it. Sorry, basically saying that he was a right dick about her weight. He was unsupportive when she was pregnant. He used to bully her on set, and a couple of people, including Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was the lead character in Buffy, have come out and sort of supported these statements. Now, we kind of knew he was a bit of a dog shit bloke because of the stuff that was going on. So, you know, do you remember when he was attached to Batgirl?
This is the first time, is it?
No, yeah, I think it's a shame though, because I do legitimately enjoy, you know, like Firefly and.
Well, you're not allowed anymore, mate.
I can't, can I? What about those first two Avengers films, which I hold quite dear? Have I got to?
Nah, can't watch them.
For God's sake, man! So we need a soft reboot by the Russo brothers of those first two Avengers films, and
just shot for shot.
Maybe we'll get Ultron done competently. Who knows? But no.
Oh, I've got some theories for you, mate. Regarding Ultron.
Let's do that. Let's do that towards in the topic. So thoughts. It's a shame. It's a shame because the guy does make good stuff, but it turns out he's just a complete bellend.
It's a shame that these actors and stuff had to deal with that. No one wants that in the workplace. I hope he never crawls out from the cave that he's obviously going to be retreated into after this.
This is surely career ending, right? Like, absolutely.
It's got to be.
A lot of people.
You never know. We might sign a deal with Ben Shapiro, and
it's funny you should mention that. Before we move on, though, I haven't seen anybody from Marvel come out. That's the one thing lacking from this that I found quite interesting. I haven't seen anybody from the production of the Avengers. I wonder if
that's just because Marvel are able to sort of better handle him on set and stop these things from happening, or if it's because it was resolved internally, maybe already.
Yeah, like I know Disney love their non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that. But this was a different time as well. Remember, where it was under Ike Perlmutter, and he's also a dog shit bloke. So maybe anything that happened was kind of made to go away, kind of thing. So, but it's an interesting absence that a lot of people, Ray Fisher and a lot of people involved with the Buffy production, are coming out against Joss Whedon. But probably one of his most recognizable movie franchises, it's like radio silence. But that strikes me as odd. Fair play to these ladies for speaking up. Do you know what I mean? It's not okay, is it really?
Nah, in the bin.
In the bin, mate. Are you a fan of Cara Dune from The Mandalorian? Tough shit! Oh. She's gone, mate. She's gone. No. She's gone, and do you know why? Do you know why she's gone? Because the actor that plays her this boggles my mind. So this is probably the most widely shared story from this week. Do you know what I mean? Gina Carano, did I pronounce that right?
Let's say yes.
Gina Carano, fired from The Mandalorian. Now, Gina has some opinions, doesn't she? She has.
Oh, mate, she's got plenty of opinions.
She has opinions, and a lot of these opinions are like really bad takes, right? And she's been poking the bear for quite a while now. She's been on my radar, my peripheral.
She's been in and out of that Disney boardroom, being told off for a long time. Yeah. She's posted anti-vax stuff. She's posted anti-democracy stuff.
Do you know what though? Those are shit opinions, right? But that's what they are. They are opinions. So I am not against somebody sharing an opinion, even if I think that it is fucking wrong. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like when people tell me that they like pop music. That offends me. That's abhorrent to me. But I'll let it slide because it's just an opinion. And the straw that broke the camel's back on this one is that she has compared having dog shit opinions to Jews living under Nazi Germany. Now, I don't.
She deserved to get sacked. Let's face it. If they'd have sat down in a boardroom with her and been like, "Carry on, mate. This is really good. We like these opinions that you posted on Twitter. Just go for it." And then they just came out of nowhere and fight, but it's not the case, is it?
No,
she's been, and they warned her, and they warned her.
She's been
if I punch someone at work, and then my boss pulls me in a meeting, and he was like, "Don't do that again, or I'm firing you." And then I punch someone again at work.
But this time,
I'm going to get fucking fired.
This time with a knuckle duster. Do you know what I mean? Because I have seen people saying that Disney have fired her for posting a call to unity, and it's like, no, mate, no, you have to acknowledge how there's having a bad opinion, and then there is something like this that is so over the line that it boggles my mind. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you want to keep your job, maybe don't shit post about the Holocaust. You know what I mean? And you cannot. Nobody is able to argue. Dear. Nobody's able to argue to me that this was a call to unity or whatever. I see what she was saying, but it was a dog shit way of saying it. Do you know what I mean? She absolutely deserved to get fired for that. But
anyway, and she's gone. Let's move on.
Does this
recast that? I don't care. I don't care about that series.
I was just about to say, like, where they were setting up some interesting things about her character.
We don't need her because we've got the Boba Fett series with what's her face from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which looks way better anyway.
No, yeah, that's true. But they were setting up some interesting stuff with her, you know, kind of being from Alderaan, and I think she was going to play some sort of role in that Rangers of the Republic series that they're doing, but no, you could recast her tomorrow, or it could be a case where she crashed her X-wing on the way back to her home planet, and nobody's going to care. But I bet you Ronda Rousey is making some phone calls this morning. Ronda Rousey and Disney have had some calls, but no, fuck her, man. It's ridiculous. And
anyway, mate.
Yeah. Cool.
Last of Us has been cast.
Yes.
Two main characters, Joel and Ellie, and I'm psyched. I've been looking forward to this sort of on-screen media since they've been teasing a film. I think it's going to be really good, and fuck anyone who's being slightly racist about the casting. They both really good actors that have proven themselves. Yes. They're difficult parts to play, so it must have been really difficult to cast. I'm psyched. I'm really psyched.
I had a kind of because I'm quite invested in this franchise, and I had a weird kind of experience at this announcement because Pedro Pascal. Great choice, provided he could do that southern drawl that Joel's got. I think it might be a little bit of a safe choice because he's kind of like a hot ticket at the moment. But when it comes to Bella Ramsey, the only thing I'd seen her in was Game of Thrones, and I immediately I was like, that's a terrible choice. That is a terrible choice.
Really?
Because, well, apart from being sassy to Jorah Mormont in one scene, and I know she was a fan favourite because of that, but apart from that, she didn't really do much for me in Game of Thrones. But so I went onto IMDb to see what else she'd worked in. And she's also in like this reboot of The Worst Witch where she plays the main character in that. That also didn't do much for me, but I found 2 amazing short films on YouTube. One was called Nancy, and this was Bella's character in a sort of like a 9-minute short film, and it's just her and her dad. Now that is the exact dynamic that I needed to have proved to me, because this project lives and dies off the back of that relationship between Joel and Ellie. Do you know what I mean?
100%,
and seeing that, there's even a scene in that film where they're kind of messing about doing American accents, going on, oh, we're going to drink some whiskey, are we going to drink some whiskey? And like so in that I get to see the father and daughter dynamic between those 2 characters, and also hear her American accent a little bit. And the second film I found was called Dust, and it's a sci-fi short film set in a post-apocalyptic kind of nuclear fallout kind of setting, where I got to see her in kind of these Last of Us-esque corridors holding a gun and stuff like that. So between those 2 short films, I'm with you now. I'm on board.
Great.
Yeah, I really see what they were going for with that. It's just me seeing her just as this one-off character in Game of Thrones. Initially, it was like, no, I don't like that, but no, absolutely, I'm on board for it.
No, I mean, I mainly trust the casting for this because it's taken them so damn long.
Yes.
And so you know that they've got to have been putting a lot of thought and a lot of work into making sure they've got the right people, because it is. You're absolutely right. The whole series revolves around these 2 characters and their dynamic together. So
it could make or break the series if this was fucked up even slightly. But you know, we've got people on board that have worked on Chernobyl. So I think the body horror of the sort of like the cordyceps infected, I think that's in safe hands visually. We've got people guiding the project that are involved in the games. We've got Neil Druckmann there, for better or worse, depending on who you ask. Me personally, I think that's a good thing that Neil's kind of the guiding hand. This can't come soon enough. Actually, the more I think about this, the more I think it might be one of my most anticipated projects in the works right now. So
good. I mean, I hope it lives up to it for you. I'm really excited too, but obviously not on the same level. I haven't even played The Last of Us 2.
No, yeah. Did you play the first one?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant.
I thought it was a good game. I thought it was 9 out of 10.
Yeah, the gameplay in the first one isn't the best, but the thing about the second one is that they really refined the gameplay, but the story's kind of lackluster. So if you were to put The Last of Us 2 gameplay and The Last of Us 1 story together, you've actually got like an amazing game there. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that's kind of where we head to with The Last of Us Part 3. But this project is getting me more and more excited the more and more I think about it. Technical difficulties. We'll be right back. God, we had some technical difficulties last week. I'll tell you that for nothing. This is actually more like episode 2.5, guys. I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. We actually recorded a whole episode last week, and I fucked it. Like, with my audio was set on the wrong level, and it was just not salvageable. So yeah, that's a little peek.
Unfortunately not. I tried my hardest.
He did. Yeah, we gotta. He gets more beautiful every week, doesn't he? Bless him. I want likes. I want comments. I want appreciation for Jord, please. Like, right.
That'd be nice.
Adults
don't get much of that.
No problem, Booker. Right. Adults can't let kids have nice things, can they? So to celebrate the 25th anniversary of one of our most impactful franchises, I think, between you and me, Pokemon. Happy Meals are being released that have got like limited edition Pokemon cards. Yep, we got it's fucking Pikachu.
Oh no, this is Pikachu too.
Oh my god! I thought it was Snorlax.
blew your mind.
But no, yeah, Pokemon cards are a very hot commodity that some fans are having a hard time buying, even like booster packs and things like that. They're like quite a hot collector's item. So McDonald's are now releasing these celebratory 25 anniversary Happy Meals that contain Pokemon cards, and kids are struggling to get them because big fucking overgrown man children like you and me are buying them out of stock.
So just to get... We don't have these in the UK, do we?
No, I don't think so. I haven't seen anything. I think it's just a US thing at the moment.
Yeah, which is a shame because, I mean, my kid would be getting fat if they had them in the UK.
Oh my god, yeah. I've got photos here on Twitter of just like a full box of 25th anniversary McDonald's promo packs selling for £925. There's another one here for $1,000, $810. People that do this kind of thing are the scum of the earth. Like, I understand why the temptation to do something like this is there, but it is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
Let the kids have their Pokemon cards, man.
Exactly. Like I would participate in this to the effect of that I would buy a few Happy Meals to get the cards, and I would probably put the cards in a little thing and keep them. I wouldn't be buying them en masse like this, and I definitely wouldn't be paying scalpers oh my god, it makes me so angry. It really does, mate. It's no, yeah, there's a table full of them here, and they're just like the Happy Meal little pack has got Pikachu's face on it. They're just looking at me, and it's like,
wait, it's got Pikachu's face on it.
It's got Pikachu's face on it.
Right, I'm down.
Like,
that's it.
No,
now.
yeah,
Fuck the
I
kids.
changed my mind. But there's a table full of them, and it's got Pikachu's face on it. And just all the eyes are just looking into my soul, like, save us, Jay, save us. This weird scalper's got us, and we don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm sorry, Pikachu, I can't help you, man. What's your take on this, Jord?
Oh, just nothing that you wouldn't be able to guess. Just let the kids have their Pokemon cards.
We ruin everything, don't we?
Or make enough of things that this doesn't happen.
I don't know whether they foresaw the demand for this. Do you know what I mean?
They should have.
They should. There's less. I understand this more and making not enough of this than I do with the next gen consoles. Do you know what I mean? Because you could have seen that demand coming like from a mile off.
Yeah, but also the next gen consoles might a lot more difficult to make.
Yes, that's true. That's true than just sticking a Pokemon card in a Happy Meal and off you go.
It's a piece of card. It's a piece of card. It's not a complex machine.
This is what annoys
precious
me.
Metals from around the earth and all of this.
Precious minerals mined from deep.
Yeah, it's a card with a bit of foil on it. Fucking
Do you
hell.
think when the people brought these, when the scalpers turn up and buy these en masse, do you think when they go to the window and they go, hello, welcome back to McDonald's, can I take your order? And the scalpers go, to protect the world from devastation! Real life pokey criminals, man, just coming into the drive-thru in that big Meowth balloon and fucking off with all the kids' Happy Meals. Probably didn't even eat the food either. Do you know what I mean? It's probably good.
No.
Ridiculous people. It's like you just said. That's what annoys me. It's a piece of card, and that can be applied to manufacture costs. It can also be applied to selling it for $1,000. It's a piece of card. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. We're all gonna die one day, and in 100 years, no one will even remember we existed. So
bury me with my Pokemon cards.
Just hook it to my veins. Fuck 'em. I'm having fun. Can you tell?
Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on.
All right.
Getting angry about Pokemon
No,
cards.
yeah, absolutely. Very, very quickly. Now, I thought this was gonna garner a little bit more discussion from us because I saw an article earlier in the week that Keanu Reeves, patron saint of our podcast, Keanu Reeves, had been approached to play Kraven the Hunter, not in the MCU Spider-Man films, but in the Spider-Verse, Sony's weird kind of Venom Morbius kind of, are they MCU, are they not, what the fuck's going on, guys, kind of movies. Great choice. I'd be 100% on board with that, but last night.
No, don't waste him. No, don't waste him.
Don't waste him as Kraven.
Nah.
If he was
the only role that Keanu Reeves can play in the MCU, the only role that I will approve is the one above all.
Really?
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
putting him on a bit of a pedestal.
Absolutely.
I think he'd make a great Kraven.
I think it'd be good.
I'd like to see him as Wolverine as well, but we've got some Wolverine news after this, so we'll go on to that. But
I don't want Wolverine.
So although
I don't want any more Wolverine.
No, yeah, give it a break. But when he comes back,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
But, so it was previously reported that Keanu Reeves was offered the role of Marvel character Kraven the Hunter. Film's been in development for a while. That was the first film that came out and said, this film will include Spider-Man, and that's the kind of the first kind of what was going on, what's going on with this. But not only has Keanu passed on the Kraven the Hunter role, turned it down, but Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has previously stated that they've talked to Keanu Reeves for almost every film they make in the MCU, and Reeves hasn't really taken to any Marvel role. Feige doesn't know if Reeves will ever join the MCU, but he is determined to have him on board. As they've said, they want to figure out the right way of doing it, referring to having the actor on board within the MCU.
I mean, I can think of lots of characters that he'd be really, really good for. He's just that sort of versatile actor, but also in a way that sort of perfectly suits these sorts of films.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
I'd love to see him tackle something a bit different, say Hyperion.
Right.
Something completely off the wall.
Sugar Man.
I think the number one role for Keanu Reeves for me would be Adam Warlock.
Oh, that's a good show. Yeah. He hasn't been cast yet either, has he? We don't know.
Confirmed to be in the universe, but not cast.
Well, I wouldn't want I wouldn't want Keanu Reeves to become one of these Count Blanchett, and it looks like it's going to happen with Christian Bale as well, with a kind of like a one-off villain. I don't want that from Keanu Reeves. If he was going to be in the MCU,
no, I don't want that.
I want him to be a
I want 10 films,
Professor X,
and a mini series on Disney Plus.
Professor X, Wolverine, do you know what I mean? Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Doom, one of these staple. If you're gonna get Keanu Reeves, do it properly.
I could see him as Doom.
Yeah, me too.
In fact, I think that'd be really interesting. As I just said, there you could stick him in any role and he'd probably absolutely smash it.
No, absolutely, mate.
He's just an actor that works with that universe.
But take this for a pitch. Keanu Reeves as Wolverine in a film directed by Joe Russo. Would you be on board? Would that tickle your fancy? Because Joe Russo was on... No.
I don't want any more Wolverine.
Let me read this out to you.
I've got my Wolverine films, right? And if I want my Wolverine fix, I'm going to watch Logan, or I'm going to watch any of the other X-Men
I was going to say
films.
that when we were talking about The Last of Us. It's like if you do want to see The Last of Us movie, it's available right now, and it's called Logan. So Joe Russo, who was on I nearly said Joe Rogan, then fuck it. A Wolverine movie directed by Joe Rogan, starring Keanu Reeves. Ooh, I'd buy that off the shelf. I'd buy that out of stock. No, okay. So Joe Russo was on the Lights Camera Barstool podcast this week, and the topic of kind of like films he'd like to have a crack at, characters he'd like to direct, kind of came up. And they spoke a little bit about Wolverine. And the quote here that I've got, Joe Russo said, "To realise him on screen is very hard because Hugh Jackman's performance is definitive. It's like Batman, you really have to think of a way that you have the character and really find the right actor to come in and give a really different take on the character. But I would really love to see him on screen. I think the best thing to do is to take a little break, without question. You need a palate cleanser. You need to rinse the towel a little bit and let everyone enjoy what was, and then come up with something new. But I'd love to take a crack at Wolverine at some point," is what he said. If when the time comes, that's a director you want doing it, isn't it? Really, someone that's proven themselves to be able to knock out the best comic book films of all time. Anyone who disagrees with that can
fuck off.
That's highly debatable, but Jord is right. Objectively, no.
I am.
No. All opinions are valid, even if you're fucking wrong. But yeah, no.
All opinions are valid, even if you like Zack Snyder.
Hey, we might like the Snyder Cut, man. We'll have to hold our tongues about that one. No, yeah. If you get me Wolverine with that kind of dialogue, the kind of Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War kind of dialogue. You get me that version of Wolverine with the action that they do in those first two Captain America films, where it's a lot of it's practical, a lot of it's hand to hand, a lot of it's martial arts. Fuck yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, absolutely. But 100%, like he says, take a break. And when I say take a break, I'm talking 2025 before it even gets to pre-production. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't need another Wolverine right now. Like, we need X-Men. No. We need X-Men. Desperately need X-Men. But
give us some X-Men. Give us a good Cyclops. Don't give us Jean Grey. Fuck off.
No, Jean will be there. 100%.
Oh. sad geek noises. I just there's so many great X-Men characters that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah. They kind of got the shaft. That's the ironic thing about the X-Men films, is that the characters that were most consistently given the shaft were the X-Men themselves. Do you know what I mean? It was really kind of Wolverine and friends for a while.
Yeah,
there,
definitely. So. Give me Sunspots. Give me
Havoc.
I'll have Ice. Oh, Havoc. Yeah, I'll have Iceman back as well.
Give me fucking Mojo. Right, so we're going on a little bit here. So let's jump ahead just a little bit, because I want to get into the topic. So Sonic got a trailer, right? Same as Venom last week. Venom got a trailer, and I'm sick of these fucking trailers that come up in my feed as new Sonic 2 teaser or new Venom 2 teaser, and I click on it and it's a fucking logo and a fucking release date, because
I've got to disagree with you, Jay. So I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to let you finish.
I'm going to let you finish, but this was one of the greatest teaser trailers of all time.
It was, mate, because it wasn't just a logo, right? It was a little Tails thing. I mean, yeah, we knew that was coming because you've seen the end of the last one. But the music...
Yes, we all heard Emerald Hill Zone.
Just for the music.
We all heard it, George. You know what I mean?
And it was great.
But this could have been an Instagram post, and they could have saved that awesome.
Well, it was. I'm sure they posted it on their Instagram.
Yeah, but you don't need to then put out a
just because you got fucking debated by it. Yeah, I was scrolling down Twitter and I saw announcement for Sonic 2. I watched that. I creamed, mate. It was everywhere. I loved everything about it. I
don't
need a trailer.
I just don't like that. You know. Okay.
You know. No. I'm going to stop you again. Sorry, Jay. No. No. Right. The reason why this is good is because yes, we've got that nostalgic shit. Yes, we've got the Tales 2 shit with the little logo. It's better than just a logo coming up that doesn't mean anything, because this means things to the fans. It means that. You know, we're gonna fucking take that nostalgia for everything that it's worth. And
I hate.
And I'm gonna love it.
I hate that the fucking trailers have trailers, and that now the teaser trailers have trailers. I just, what the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, please tell me you know where I'm coming from. Do you know what I mean? I love that little flourish.
Absolutely.
Though. Like,
I'm super biased because Sonic was one of my favourite things as a kid.
No, definitely, it was one of the most impactful franchises on me as well. Again, same as we were talking about Ice Age. My son loved it. I loved it when he was a kid. So it just Sonic warms my heart, and hearing that little flourish of Emerald Hill Zone, it was nice, but it's principle for me. Do you know what I mean? Like with
fair enough.
The trailers have trailers for trailers, and then now the fucking release date announcements that used to come out in a press release have got fucking trailers, and I just don't know what the fuck's going on in Hollywood. You know what I mean? They made Bad Santa 2, they're making Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and they even made a fucking Dread 2. So what the fuck is going on in Hollywood, man? Do you know what I mean? Like that's where I come from.
I haven't seen Dread 1, so
You've never seen Dread?
I'll just stop. Nope.
That's got to be changed.
Yeah, I nearly did the other day, but I didn't. I fell asleep instead. So there we go.
I do that every time I try and watch John Wick. To be honest with you, it's a great film. But I've just never seen the end of it. I just keep falling
I haven't seen John Wick all the way through. I've seen bits of all of them. I've seen the opening sequence to John Wick 2 5 times.
I love those action scenes with the gun fu though. But in any event, Sonic getting a movie sort of brings us getting a second movie. Sorry. I never said what the release date actually was. Fuck.
2022.
There we go then. There we go. So 2022. So that one actually might come out in cinemas, which is great. But Sonic getting a movie and obviously being an iconic video game.
I can see it here, April 8th.
April 8th, 2022.
So on the early side, just over about 14 months away. So
fingers crossed that we can actually meet up in person to see that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
That'll be.
Oh, no, because we'll have your son with us, won't we?
No, yeah, absolutely. But mate, he'll be fucking.
So you got to come here.
Yeah,
this will work well for me.
he'll be 14. Man, that's shameful. God. Do you know what I mean? That's terrifying. I'm 30 this year. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I'm old, yeah.
Old as fuck,
so
mate.
old.
Too old to be talking about this kind of stuff.
I'm here nice and young and limber, and I'm not actually lying down all week because I've got a bad
You're
neck,
young, but stop there.
Yeah.
But my point was, Sonic getting a movie and Sonic being a video game camera is a really nice segue from going out talking about movie news to just talking about a few things going on in the world of gaming before we get into the topic.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cyberpunk and Witcher developer CD Projekt Red have been hit with a massive cyber attack, and it does seem to be in kind of revenge of releasing an unfinished game. And
it's just a fucking excuse.
Oh, but this sucks, man. This sucks because like all that goodwill that they'd built up with The Witcher 3, like CD Projekt Red were one of the golden boys up until very recently, and they received this thing from hackers. Hello, CD Projekt Red. You've been epically pwned. We have dumped full copies of the source code from your performance server for Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of Witcher 3. We've also dumped all your documents related to accounting, administration, legal, blah, 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 blah. If we will not come to an agreement, your source code will be sold or leaked online. This fucking sucks, man. What a shame for these boys. They hit back with a response that pretty much says, you know, we do not negotiate with the likes of you scumbags. You know what I mean? So fair play to them for sticking to their guns. You
just open yourselves up for it.
No.
You invite it to happen again.
I mean, I've played Cyberpunk. I've played quite a bit of it, and it's not that bad, man. Do you know what I mean? Just
because you're playing it on PS5, though, it's a lot worse for some
people.
No,
yeah, for current gen systems, it's buggy, and there's still bugs, but the bugs are no worse than like a Skyrim was when it launched. Do you know what I mean? And nobody hacked Bethesda Game Studios for that, and it's just
Bethesda are the worst.
They are.
They're the absolute worst.
Why do we give Bethesda a pass? Why do we give fucking the people that made No Man's Sky a pass? Why do we give EA a pass? But these guys.
Hey man, apparently No Man's Sky is good now.
Yeah, now though, do you know what I mean? And I'm sure give it. How many years ago did that fucking game release? Like 2014. Give it 7 years. I'm sure that Cyberpunk 2077 will be amazing too. But it's not. My point is, it's not bad enough that they deserve the amount of shit that they've taken over this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's some people that will be like, you get what you deserve. Like, you knew this game was unfinished and you released it anyway, so fuck you guys. But I'm sure that was the call of sort of like some higher ups, and that we're getting pressured from investors. Not the developers, not the people on the ground, mate. They don't deserve this. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot of people there who work really hard on that game, regardless of what people think about it. And yeah, this is a shame. I don't have anything positive to say about it, so let's just move on to the best news of the week.
Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is finally coming to the Switch. And Jord is do you want to explain your gaming situation and what you use and?
Yeah, so I have a family, and my partner hogs the telly 24/7. So if I want to play a game on a home console that isn't a Switch, I can play maybe half an hour of it over the course of a month, and not feel guilty about about hogging it myself. So I've got a Switch. I've got two Switches that I pretty much game exclusively on now, so I can still be around my family and dive into a game for 10 hours and not have to worry about.
It's a smart way of doing it, to be honest with you.
And also my PS4 bit the dust anyway because we used it for telly for years. Yep.
Rip. But also on the same score, you're a huge Crash Bandicoot fan, and
oh god, yes, it's my I love Crash so much.
Same.
He's some of my favourite games of all time.
Same.
I've played them over and over and over again. Never finished them. Never 100%ed them.
Well, I've been gushing since October about Crash Bandicoot 4, much to the chagrin of Jord, who's been watching Let's Plays and speed runs. But now they have finally announced March 12th, Jord. It's not long away, mate. March 12th.
You know what? The only reason I'm a bit sad about it is I almost wish it was April, so I had annual leave to book. It's one of them. Because I'll play this.
No, you'll have to play.
I'm having a procedure at the start of April
that
I've told you about, and I'm out of business. I'm out of action for a week, and that's Crash Bandicoot week.
I did the same thing when Insane Trilogy came out. I booked the week off in 2017. I didn't do it this time because it came out on a Friday, and I played it for the weekend and whatever. But no, I did the same thing in 2017. I took annual leave. But not only is it coming to Switch, but it's also coming to next-gen consoles, man, where it will have improved 4K resolution and faster loading times, which the game desperately needs faster loading times.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you right there. The version that is on Switch will be the best version.
Because
Stop.
It'll be yours.
I don't want any of this. I don't want any of this, mate.
No, the thing that tickles my balls about that is that we're getting it for free as well. Like the people have already got Crash 4s, we're getting the next gen version for free, so that's really good news. I'm so happy that Crash is back. I just have to sit back sometimes, you know what I mean? Especially when I'm playing Crash 4 and I'm getting to a particularly frustrating bit. It's like I hate this. Like it's like a good friend of mine, but a friend that I fucking hate, and I hate it, and I'm in so much pain right now. But I'm so happy that this exists. Do you know what I mean? I thank God that this came back. So, here we go. This is we're going to talk about scalping and
oh god, this is a scalping podcast.
we can skip the scalping. But basically, there's an MP for the Scottish National Party who clearly couldn't get a PS5 at Christmas because he's got a vested interest in bringing forth a gaming hardware automated purchase and resale bill, which could outright ban using bots for scalping. I'm for it.
Go for it.
I'm for it.
Yep, sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Also, there's been some rumblings this week. PS5 scalpers don't like all the bad press that they're getting, and it's like, well, I'm sure paedophiles don't either. That's a bit of a harsh comparison.
Oh, maybe too far.
That's a bit of a harsh comparison. I'm sorry.
Oh dear. Oh, do I cut that? Do I leave it
in? I'm sure thieves don't like the bad press. I'm so sorry. Right. No, yeah, the scalpers don't like the negative press that they get. Just fucking shut up about it. Do you know what I mean? Don't do it then.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Oddworld Soulstorm seems to be a game that has been in development forever, and finally, we're getting some kind of idea of when it's going to be coming out. Big fan of the Oddworld games.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the original on me PS1 when I was a kid.
Yeah, same. I liked the remaster as well, the new and tasty one for PS4. I know you were a little bit lukewarm on that.
I couldn't get back into it. I didn't know what it was at the time. But I don't know. I couldn't get back into it. I didn't play much of it. I probably only played about 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
But this looks amazing.
Yes, it really does.
I'm all aboard. Next stop, Oddworld Station. I'm there, mate.
Yeah, well, you need them to release a Switch version first, don't they? I can't
be doing this anymore. Nintendo, release a Switch Pro.
We'll do share play. I'll share play it with you. No, yeah, I like the I like the kind of crafting system that they're adding to it. I like the kind of expanding on the game speak, where it's not just 1 or 2 or 4 Madokans now. It seems to be that you can control a whole battalion of them. I'm well looking forward to this. It's got elements really of Abe's Exodus in it, which is a straight up remaster. New and Tasty was a shot for shot remake, pretty much, of Abe's Odyssey. This is a wholly original experience, but it's kind of what I think this is like the complete version of what they wanted that sequel to Odyssey to be, because when Odyssey was kind of like this sleeper success, it was mandated by Sony that they make a sequel in the next sort of 12 months, so they were really famous for that back in the day. But they turned around one of the greatest sort of 2D side-scrolling adventure platformers that I've ever played in my life in less time than it takes me to have a shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, Abe's Exodus is amazing, and this has got elements of it. There's similar environments, there's similar enemies there, and I can't wait for it. Again, this has been something that's been kicked around there for years, Soulstorm, but I'm finally glad that we're getting some sort of tangible release date. Cool.
Awesome. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to play it 2 years after it comes out on PS4.
And that's it for news. Woohoo!
Fair enough. Yep. You don't want to talk about the man arrested for selling Pokemon?
No, just the fact that we've been going nearly an hour, and we should probably get into the topic, because we've got some.
Oh, let's have a vibe.
No, absolutely. Before we have a quick break, before we come back for the topic, I'd like to say thank you for anybody who's made it this far. Thank you for listening. A subscribe goes a long way. Obviously, hit the notification bell as well, so that you can see when we're uploading stuff. We are in the process of getting on other platforms as well, like Apple Podcasts and things like that. So just bear with us. Bear with us. It's a bit of an arduous process, but thank you all, everyone, so much for your subs and likes and everything. It's very much appreciated.
Absolutely. And also, I can't wait to be able to say available wherever you get your podcast.
Ooh.
I can't wait to be able to say that, because my mum keeps asking, is it available everywhere you can get your podcast? It's the only thing she knows about it.
Amazing. George, you've lost your glasses! And
then back.
And we're back. Okay, so
we're back like my glasses.
Yeah, wearing them like a cool man. So
that's definitely what people associate with glasses wearers.
Absolutely. So, I did say, like, it's a fun drinking game with this podcast, and take a shot every time Jamie says absolutely. Absolutely, man. So we're going to talk about the MCU. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive, but we're not going to do all of it, because they have announced quite a lot of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And there's stuff that we haven't really got much detail about. So the stuff that we're going to talk about is stuff that is currently, emphasis on currently, slated to release in 2021.
Yeah, you say deep. It's going to be more like a deep dive in the shallow end.
Yeah. Like a play in the pool. We're gonna talk about it. Do you know what I mean? So quite a fair few things are coming out this year, to be fair. So kicking it off, obviously we've spoken at length in the last episode about WandaVision, but there have been developments in the last couple of episodes that we haven't really touched on. Spoilers for WandaVision, by the way. Evan Peters as Quicksilver.
So just before we get to that, episode 5, it's fine. We're not going to talk about anything that happens in episode 5 outside of the last 10 seconds.
No, yeah, absolutely. Pretty much the same with
go watch it.
Yeah, go watch WandaVision. It's definitely an interesting show. I haven't quite reached my hype levels that I had. Episode 4 was the high point for me, and it hasn't quite captured that yet.
Really? Because I'm going to say episode 6 was definitely my high
Great
point.
ending.
I think we learned a lot more about what's going on. I think it's given us more questions. It's given us more answers.
Yeah, but I really want to know what's going on with Evan Peters. Like is his casting as Pietro? Are you bringing that Fox X-Men universe into the MCU, or is it just the fact that he was a popular?
It's so hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's like it's not. I refuse to believe it's a coincidence. I refuse to believe it.
Can't be.
And it's a very interesting character that he's playing because he's in on what Wanda's doing, but Wanda's confused about that. She didn't seem confused when Agnes was in on it, but she seems confused that he's
she
in
was
on
scared.
it.
She was scared that Agnes was in on it, but more to the point of she's going to blow my cover for Vision. Do you know what I mean? She wasn't confused about that. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of backpedaling off the back of this episode as well, where I said I was convinced that they weren't going to use this as a backdoor pilot for any X-Men stuff, but there were a few interesting lines this week about the Hex genetically altering genetically altering the makeup of people who have been inside it. And obviously last week there were no kids, and this week in the Halloween episodes there's shitloads of kids, and we see that Wanda can make that Hex expand. So and everyone,
a lot of people saying, is it gonna consume the world,
or is it going to consume America at the very least? And the people that have been inside, especially the kids, will they be mutants off the back of this? Is that what they're doing? Is that what that genetic makeup altering line was about, or is that just an allusion to Monica's character, who I believe was a superpowered being in the comics? Photon. Yeah, but I was hoping for a little bit more clarification this week, but it's a great show. Still a great show. Do you know what I mean? Vision's becoming a little bit more woke now in terms of what's going on.
Definitely.
I don't think there's much credence to any of the theories that are going around about Mephisto or anything like that. I think that the villain, or the antagonist at least, of this piece is Wanda. I don't think she's under any control. I think that
we're getting it. Well, I think maybe the villain is the what's it face guy, the sword guy, and I have seen some fan theories on Twitter that I would love to believe that that's Ultron.
Oh shit! Go on, run me through that. I haven't heard that.
Basically, I think it's in one of the animated shows. Ultron took a human-like form to sort of fuck with them. That looks a lot like this character.
Okay.
And you know how Darcy was going on about like getting through his last firewall and stuff like that.
I'm interested to see what that was about. Yeah, definitely.
So maybe this is.
I'd love that. I'd love that. I'd love to see Ultron come back into it in some capacity. He wasn't really done justice. As much as I enjoy Age of Ultron, well, I'm not allowed to anymore. Actually, we've already established that. As much as I enjoyed Age of Ultron for what it was, I would like to see him done a little bit differently, a little bit less comedic. I didn't want Ultron to be funny. Do you know what I mean?
I enjoyed that about it, but I want the Age of Ultron. I don't want the week of Ultron.
the day and a half of Ultron.
The day and a half, yeah. Just give us a bit more. That's
the lazy afternoon.
Really good, really interesting character that you can do so much with. Especially maybe like going down Armor Wars routes and stuff like that. They're not going to follow the comics exactly. We already know that for sure, because they never do.
No, yeah. But the
interesting to have him around.
The adaptations haven't let me down so far. Anything that's been kind of directly adapted, such as like Civil War, it's not anything like the comics, but it's still a really good adaptation. Same with this, which is kind of taking elements from Vision's solo run and House of M and.
I mean, sorry, I just want to go back to evil sword guy.
Yeah, shady government man.
Part of that, part of what supports him possibly being Ultron is that he really wants to get his hands on Vision.
Yes, I noticed that.
He really wants to get his hands on Vision. Really wants that vibranium body, doesn't he? And I'm thinking, well, why does he want that? Does he want to? If he's not Ultron, become that himself?
Yeah, if he's not Ultron, then he could be an agent of Ultron. I did think that actually. That there was that there's definitely a reason that Vision is being tracked here and not Wanda. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a distinct interest in this guy getting his hands on Vision. So you are right there. So I'd love that. I would love that. But
I think it'd be great. Yeah. I think it'd be really sort of innovative and smart way of bringing the character back. If true, big if true.
Yeah, big if true.
But I'm still enjoying it regardless. I'm sure I'll be happy whatever road they decide to go down with the end of this. confusing the shit out of me.
I want clarification. I won't be happy if I don't get any kind of clarification of what's going on with Quicksilver. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I love those comic accurate Halloween costumes this week, especially Wanda's.
Yeah,
you know what I
me
mean?
too.
Like tweak that a little bit, and that could be her MCU costume. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think that it looked as abhorrent as Quicksilver and Vision did. Do you know what I mean? That was the those two.
Visions.
Visions was questionable, man.
What was he? What did they say he was? He was in the show.
Some kind of fish, wasn't it? Or traffic lights. Traffic lights. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked horrible.
So we got 3 episodes left of WandaVision, and then a week break, and then we're straight into Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which got a trailer this week. Thoughts and opinions and thoughts.
I mean, it looks like Captain America: Winter Soldier.
It does, doesn't it?
The TV show, but without Captain America. Sure, I think it's going to be really good. I don't think it's going to be like we have all of these questions like we do with one.
Oh, it's not.
I think they're going to be 2 very different.
It's going to be a bit more of a straight up espionage kind of. I tend to Sean Connery espionage. I don't know what happened there. It's going to be a bit more straight up, like you said, Winter Soldier. There's enough special effects shot in these trailers that don't look great to make me go, I don't know about that. Do you know what I mean?
I thought it looked good. I thought it looked like a film quality trailer, personally.
Good cast as well.
I'm sure it's going to be good. I don't have much to say about it.
No, me neither. I like that Sharon Carter's in it. I like that we've got some confirmation that Don Cheadle's going to be in it. So that should lead nicely into Armor Wars. Baron Zemo's back with sporting a bit more of a comic accurate look.
I'm excited for that.
Flag smashers are there.
I hope we get some sort of comment by someone to Sharon Carter, or even by Sharon Carter, that she maybe kissed a granddad or something like that, or whatever the relation is there.
No, I don't think I will. It's all got a bit Game of Thrones there.
Yeah.
No, looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to that. It got a poster as well. It's just one of those standard Marvel faces poster. Just showing all the characters, do you know what I mean? So
not really known for innovation in their posters, are they?
No, they've been the same since Iron Man 1, haven't they? Black Widow. A little bit of news for Black Widow this week. They've got no plans to release to streaming as of yet. So
I could have told you that.
They're holding fast to this May 7th, 2021 release date, which is the day before my birthday. So that would be a really nice birthday present if we got a new MCU film that I was able to see in cinemas. I just don't think.
To Jay, happy birthday, love, Kevin Feige.
Thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate that. I've got no real excitement nor hatred or anything about the Black Widow film. I think it might be a bit of a too little too late kind of thing. I think there was a sweet spot to release that Black Widow movie that's kind of come and gone.
Yeah, but I mean, I've missed the MCU so much that I'll go see it. But then also,
I was going to see it regardless.
WandaVision now, scratching that ish. I'm going to go. Yeah, obviously we'll go
see it regardless.
I'm going to go. Nah, let's just skip this one.
None of that. None of that.
Nah, none of that.
Decent cast as well.
Decent cast. Yeah, I think we're going to be getting Florence Pugh's character. I think she's going to be the next Black Widow. And,
yes.
I mean, if you're looking at that table, this is how I think it's going to go. Right, Jordan's prediction hour. I think David Harbour's character is going to die. I think Florence Pugh is going to be the next Black Widow, and I think the other person sat around the table, the dark-haired girl, dark-haired woman, I think she's going to be.
That's Taskmaster. Yeah.
Those are my predictions.
Taskmaster's got an excellent skill set as well, man. Do you know what I mean? That's some interesting powers to get on screen. I'm looking forward to.
Don't kill Taskmaster off. I'm talking to you, Kevin.
Yeah,
don't kill Taskmaster off.
I know you like to kill all your villains, but no, this is.
We want this Spider-Man Taskmaster interaction.
We do get him in a Spider-Man film. Yeah, David Harbour. I love that actor. I really, when I heard that he was in talks of being an MCU film, I was hoping that he might end up being the Thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he would have been a good Ben Grimm, or even Galactus, as we've mentioned.
Yes, as I mentioned last week in the Lost episode.
Yes, okie dokie. So May 7th, 2021. I think that might be a bit optimistic, but let's see how we get on. Following that is Spider-Man 3, the third Spider-Man, Spider-Man Home Alone, or Spider-Man Home, Spider-Man What the Fuck is Going On? Because we've heard in
Spider-Man Home Invasion.
Yes, I like that one.
Whatever.
I like that one. In
Spider-Man Home something.
We've heard incessant rumours about the involvement of past Spider-Mans in this. You know, we've had people confirmed to be in this that have been in other films, like Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx as Dr. Octopus and Electro respectively. They're not rumoured, man. They are confirmed. They are going to be in this film. So that says to me that there's going to be some sort of connection with the Raimi-verse kind of thing. But this week, not Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire said fuck all, sorry. This week, Tom Holland strongly denied that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be in the film. He says if they are, then Marvel have hidden the most quintessential moment of this film from me. Is he lying, or is do you know what I mean? Like,
you can't tell what he says on face value, but also I hope they're not. I don't want them. Go away.
No, I'm not. I won't be bothered if they're not either. It's just confusing that there are people who have been in these other movies that are confirmed, and it's the same kind of question as I've got with the X-Men thing. Are these just giving people who were popular as the character another shot, or are you actually connecting these multiverses? What's going on? Do you know what I mean? We don't. It's filming now, and we still don't know any details about what's actually going on with the film. We need a trailer really sooner rather than later, and not a fucking announcement for the date. Do you know what I mean? Not the logo and the release day. We need a trailer. We need to see some footage. Do you know what I mean? So, but. Again, though, I'm excited, like where they left off in.
Yeah, man, I'll watch anything Spider-Man.
No, he's my
you
boy.
throw it at me, I'll watch it.
No, yeah, absolutely. Where they left off in Far From Home is a really interesting place to take it. There's obviously Morbius and Venom 2 and stuff like that might be connected to the MCU, but might not, because we saw Michael Keaton at the end of the Morbius trailer reprising his role as Vulture. So
Sony must have paid him some money to do that.
Trust me, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm excited because it's Spider-Man, but I'm also like really nervous about what they're doing with it, because it's kind of like decorating a Christmas tree. You know what I mean? You can have ambitions for that thing to look amazing, but it could fall over under the weight of your own fucking creativity if you put too many decorations on it. Do you know what I mean?
Or and if you've got a cat, it's gonna fucking knock it over anyway.
No, yeah,
that's what happened to me this year. So.
Are you saying that Black Cat is confirmed to be reprising her role in Spider-Man 3? Is that what you're saying there?
Yeah, that's it, man. You got to read between the lines. What I just see in the fourth dimension, I saw that they were going for this Christmas tree analogy, and I thought, well, what goes on then? It's cats, isn't it? It's Black Cat.
Black Cat confirmed.
Yep.
Take it to the bank with you. We got this covered. We'll do a piece on this. You know, confirmed by Mukkapod podcast. What about Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu? No, sorry, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
You did that last week as well.
It just rolls off the tongue. So easy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I want to see some good kung fu in this little Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of hoping that itch would get scratched by Iron Fist, but it was never the case, was it?
They did it, mate.
No.
They do it for you.
It would be cool if because I know it's not happening, but I would have liked to have got the people that made the raid on this, or the people that did the action scenes in John Wick with that kind of dynamic camera movement and. Hand-to-hand combat and that kind of thing. I'm hoping that this ends up being a good film first and foremost, because it's one of those situations where you can't deny how important this film is, culturally, but having a pretty much all Asian cast in this one. Do you know what I mean? In a similar vein as kind of Black Panther. But the cultural significance of it shouldn't come at the expense of it being a good movie first. I think, me personally. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that first and foremost, it's a good entry into the MCU. Do you know what I mean? And held up because of that, rather than what it means in the zeitgeist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm also excited to see the not the Mandalorian, the Mandarin.
The Mandarin, yes.
Keep
yes.
confusing that in my mind.
Bringing that in.
Really excited to see that,
Yeah.
and he's going to have his rings, isn't he, as well? He's going to have his 10 rings of tech.
And it's going to be a legend as well, or a secret. I think I might have done that wrong. I've put legend of the 10 rings, or I think it might be secret of the 10 rings. Keeping you up, Jord? You alright?
He was good. Yeah, I've shattered, mate.
No, I didn't sleep much last night, to be fair, but... Eternals.
The damn kids.
Eternals. I have no idea what they're even about. Do you know what I mean? But it's going to be.
I'm going to watch it.
No, absolutely.
As I said for everything on this list, I'm going to watch it.
No. It's a good gateway, as you've pointed out to me in the past. It's a good gateway to head into sort of like the proper like upper echelon of Marvel cosmic entities. So you do get 100%. Like the Living Tribunal and Eternity and the One Above All, and a real look behind the curtain at kind of the Celestials. With Guardians,
and that's what I hope it is.
Yeah,
that's what I really hope it is. I don't need another sort of isolated story. I don't need the Inhumans. Again.
Even
if it's a good film, I want more universe building at this point. I think we're far enough into the MCU where we need to start seeing some of these characters, or you know, we don't need to, but I personally think we're ready for it, and I think it's going to benefit the lore and the universe.
No, definitely,
really well.
and I think at this point as well, like you said, being this far into the MCU, I think you could get mainstream audiences on board with anything, and they'll just kind of go with it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really cool to see some of this, like these mainstream audiences kind of nerding out about the kind of shit that you and me have been since like we were kids. You know, about shared universes and multiverses and things like that. Yeah, we had that look last week, didn't we? At the artwork doesn't really show it much justice, though. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really.
Yeah, I think I said then they look a bit like Power Rangers.
They do. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll look better, all CG'd and IMAX'd out and all of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I see some like official images before I pass judgment on them. I also hear Neil Gaiman did a good run at the Eternals, or at least did a good standalone graphic novel about them, so I might give that a read before I go into this, just to learn a touch more about, you know, kind of what they're about and whatnot. And then we're back on Disney Plus for the next three, starting with what
we're back on Disney Plus. Mukkapod now on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I wish. Give me some of that sweet Disney cash, man. Marvel's What If is a comic book series that goes back years and years and years and years. There has always been side stories narrated by this cosmic being called Uatu the Watcher. And
some of my favourite Marvel stories are What If stories.
Yes. And they're now bringing the What If format to a MCU canon animated series. This is really interesting. Have you seen?
I'm really excited.
Yeah. But
really
I knew
excited.
You would be, because Hayley Atwell's in it, and she's
Hayley Atwell's in it.
Yeah,
a girl.
Do you know what excites me?
Waifu for life.
My favourite sort of concept that I've seen here, because there's a ton of concepts here. Like, what if I've forgotten her name. Sorry. What if Peggy Carter ended up being Captain Britain? There seems to be some Marvel Zombies influence in here as well. There's Captain America. There's Doctor.
What if Thor 2 wasn't shit?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
There's Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange. I don't know what's going on there, but the one that I'm really excited to see is the Black Panther abducted by Yondu and the Ravagers kind of thing, because that is something that Chadwick Boseman managed to do before he passed. So that's
I'm excited.
That's going to be his sort of last little imprint on the MCU. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward, above everything else in that show. I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of short. This is something that probably won't get delayed this year. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a safe bet that the Disney Plus stuff will be coming as scheduled. Do you know what I mean? If it says this is 2021,
at this point they would have put it back by now.
Yeah,
I would imagine if it was going to be delayed.
No, big yes on that one. Big thumbs up. That might be like top of my list, to be honest with you, with the exception of maybe Spider-Man 3. That might be the thing I'm most looking forward to this year. I can see you prepping. to talk about.
We got
Miss Marvel.
We got my most anticipated Marvel property by far. I've been a big fan of this character since they debuted in the comics. I've read everything I've been able to get my hands on. I love this story. It's so grounded and down to earth. Well, I am, of course, talking about Miss Marvel.
Yes.
And I mean, Jay knows me. As soon as we even had Captain Marvel announced, the most exciting thing about that for me was the fact that it could lead on to Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
No, I really love this character, and I love the casting choice as well. I'm so glad that they've, don't seem to be. We don't get no whitewashing in the MCU these days. It doesn't seem like. No, it's a really interesting story, and I'm excited for it to become more mainstream and for more people to experience it. I hope they do it justice. And I won't go too far into it, but it's not just about sort of the Muslim home life. There are also other minorities that are showcased in this comic, and I'm just really excited for this to be a thing and for this to be out for when my daughter grows up and I can be like, look at this, and she's like, no, Dad, I've watched it 3 times.
That's so cute. That's so cute to have like a sort of like a positive influence there on your daughter when she grows up. That's a really cute take, man. I don't know much about Miss Marvel.
I think it's going to be really important, obviously, especially talking about the UK.
Yeah.
We have such a large Muslim population, but in media we don't get it all that much. So for something like the biggest franchise on earth to
there's not a lot of positive representation for the Muslim community in mainstream films, is there really? They're always kind of portrayed as not terrorists and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So something like this to have a
you could just say negatively, but
negativity. But. Yeah, I mean, to have someone like this who's going to be like a mainstream superhero, like you said, biggest company in the world, biggest franchise in the world. I'm all for it, and I'm hoping it gets me on board.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and also you skip past all of that. I mean, we could start. I'm not going to flip through and find my Nova comics, but we've had hints at Miles Morales. We're getting Miss Marvel. To me, this leads on to bringing the young Nova in and us getting some sort of young Avengers or something like that, which I'm also
they seem
really excited
about. They seem
to
be setting that up with Tommy and Billy being in one division and being able to age themselves
absolutely.
up. And obviously this week
it seems to be the way things are going.
We saw they had their powers this week. They've activated, and the next show that we're going to talk about, Hawkeye, is also bringing in Kate Bishop, who is
and then we've got Ironheart come in as well.
We've got who come in? Sorry.
Ironheart,
yes, that's.
So I think they get into some sort of like young Avengers, maybe even led by Spider-Man. I'd be all about it, mate.
That would be so cool. That would be really.
It'd be really cool. It'd be really, really good. So I love the direction this is going on. I love what it opens up for the MCU. Said it a million times. This is my favourite Marvel comic book series of all time.
I'm chuffed for you, man. I'm really glad it's happening.
So I know it's probably. A lot of people would disagree with that, but it spoke to me, and I'm excited to see it on the silver screen.
Yeah, the silver screen in your living room.
In my living room, yeah, I painted it.
Absolutely.
Paintbrush.
Yeah, I'll get a projector and just project it on a cloudy night so we can all watch it together.
Yeah, that's it. I'll get a telescope.
So the final project that we're going to talk about is Hawkeye. Then I don't know too much about it other than the fact that Kate Bishop is going to be in it, as I said earlier. Also, sorry to come back to Young Avengers. Cassie Lang as well is obviously kicking a bit in the MCU.
Yes, mate.
Stature.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I completely had a mind blank there.
10%.
But it seems like Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye will be taking more of a mentor role to this Kate Bishop character, and the story's going to revolve around that. There's some great source material for Hawkeye that you can draw from. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that he's been given a fair whack.
Is it My Life as a Weapon?
My Life as a Weapon is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I don't think he's been given a fair crack at the whip.
I do need to check that out.
Do you know what I mean? No, definitely, man. I'll lend it to you. I'll borrow Chainsaw, Face Man, or whatever it was, and you can borrow My Life as a Weapon.
I should have more than one issue. It's been difficult to get them.
No, all for that. There's some interesting stuff that you can do there. I like I said, I don't think in any of the films he's been in, I don't think Hawkeye's ever gotten a fair shake of what like he can actually be about as a character. So I'm really excited to sort of see this when it does drop.
No, me too. I've always liked Hawkeye. I mean, we've had this conversation a million times after every film he's been in, where you'll say, "Oh, you didn't think he did anything" or something like. But I think he's been one of the standout characters, and he's been so pivotal to the mainline Avengers films from start to finish.
Yeah, surprisingly so as well. Do you know what I mean? Like that, I wouldn't have called that at the original announcement that Hawkeye was going to be this kind of through line character arc through all the Avengers films, and then obviously the Captain America solo film that he was in and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? He's been there since like phase 1, since Thor. Do you know what I mean? So and I do like Jeremy Renner's interpretation of Clint Barton as well. So it's going to be interesting to see him kind of in this father figure role to Kate Bishop's character as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Me too,
I think it's going to be a solid series.
That's a good lineup for a year, man. Do you know what I mean? And obviously it's the first year that we're getting not just films but series as well. Loki, that's this year as well, isn't it? I haven't written that down.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Can we save Loki? Because I've got a bit more to say about
Okay.
that. So I think I'd like to talk about that at a different time.
Yes, no, that's my bad. That's my bad. Sorry.
And also, my daughter is coming back very shortly. So I just want to ask. I've got one question for you. How's it going, mate?
How's it going? Right. So this week it's been a bit of a shit show this week because I've had my son over, so I haven't really had much time to myself. Do you know what I mean? Which is fine because I absolutely love seeing the boy. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go and spend the Saturday afternoon with him now. But one thing I did manage to do this week, Jord, my partner has never seen Star Wars, ever, anything regarding Star Wars.
And you tell me that you love her. I find it hard to believe.
I love her in spite of that. Okay. But I love her even more now because we finally got around to watching it. And I forgot how good those first 3 films are because there's a lot of stuff with Star Wars now, with the prequels and the expanded universe animated shows, comics and the sequels and Mandalorian and all the stuff that's coming up. But stripping it back to basics and watching those first 3, my God, John, there ain't much wrong with those films, man. A lot of people like to shit on the first one for sort of being a relic of its time. A lot of people like to shit on Return of the Jedi for the Ewoks, but screw you, I love the Ewoks. It was good. It was a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I recently rewatched the first one, and we're planning on slowly. Yeah, we're not rushing. We're in no rush for it, but we are going to rewatch all of them probably in the order that they came out. But the ones I was looking forward to the most were the first ones, and so far I haven't been let down. It's a really solid film.
No, definitely, man, definitely. It was interesting to get like a Star Wars Virgin's take on it as well. Really enjoyed all 3 of them. Really gravitated towards Han Solo above all of the characters. Remembered the I Am Your Father twist just before it happened, which is a shame because I was hoping to get that live reaction, but she was like, "Oh shit, yeah, doesn't he say that he's his dad?" Do you know what I mean? It's impossible to avoid that when it's been out. There, it's one of the most. It's in the zeitgeist, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Luke, I am your father. It's classic, even though that's not the line. That's the Mandela effect. No, I am your father is what he actually says. But her takeaway from it was that she enjoyed them, but she wouldn't put it as on that pedestal that it's on. Do you know what I mean? It's not one of it hasn't skyrocketed to one of her favourite films, which I didn't expect. I think
you've got to have some sort of
nostalgia. Exactly, you've got to have some sort of attachment to it. But it's opened the door that eventually she wants to watch the prequels and wants to do a rewatch of Mandalorian with me, and we're doing Lord of the Rings next because that's another trilogy that she hasn't seen. Do you know what I mean? So we'll do Lord of the Rings, and then I think Planet of the Apes.
No, not that she hasn't watched them. I don't like those.
Really? Oh, we need to. That's a topic because I love them. Do you know what I mean? I didn't realise that you weren't a Lord of the Rings person. I must have known that about you. That must have come up in conversation before now.
Maybe we've discussed it over The Hobbit, but it's a lot easier to digest if I say I don't like The Hobbit.
Jord, I don't want to do this podcast with you anymore, man.
That's
Goodbye. Anyway, no. But no, we're doing Lord of the Rings next, and then probably Planet of the Apes as well. So like these really good trilogies, I want to show her. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, fair play. Yeah, fair play.
So how's it going with you, mate? What have you been up to?
Oh, I at the start of the week, I told myself, don't buy any more manga this month, George.
You brought more manga, didn't you?
Spent enough money. I did. I bought more manga. And I, after trying out the anime, I didn't really get into it. I watched. It's a creaky door, isn't it?
My door, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I watched the first couple of series of JoJo, and I didn't get into it, but I decided to pick up the first volume of part 1, and my God, is it good! Yeah. Oh, it's so good. The art's amazing. The pacing of the story is amazing. I heavily prefer it to the manga for what I've seen anyway. I hear to the anime. Sorry, I hear the anime really picks up series 3, but I didn't get that far. But I'm going to work my way through the manga slowly because obviously books they cost money, and I like to actually have the physical ones when I'm buying them.
No,
so.
yeah, no.
I'm going to work my way through it, and I'm really excited for that.
Is there an anime equivalent to Comixology?
You can get a lot of them on Amazon.
Oh, a Kindle and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. I actually get a couple of them for free because of Prime, but I'm not about that life.
No, so
another thing,
I've heard a lot of good things about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I'm a bit of an anime virgin myself, and we're hoping to change that over the course of this podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
But no,
tune in next week for Jay's take on Attack on Titan.
I've got to. I'll talk about that towards the end. Yeah. So, but no, yeah, JoJo's is on my list there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to carry on, and I'd be happy to lend you the manga at some point when I'm done with it.
I'd love that, man. I've got one or two. I've got one or two mangas. It's mainly the Pokemon Journeys, Pokemon Legends thing. Reading back to front kind of throws me off a little bit still, but I'm getting better. Do you know what I mean?
It didn't take much to get used to. I mean, I've been reading a lot more recently, and my One Punch Man collection is stacking up, and One Punch Man Season 1's my favourite series of anime.
Yeah, I need to watch that as well, yeah.
It's stellar. I mean, you don't need to watch Series 2. Don't bother. Just watch Series 1.
Okay.
But I'm going to... I think there's about 5 or 6 more books. I'm going to pick those up on payday, and then I shall be releasing a video on my channel, Sidonian. A bit of a plug.
Featuring me as well. I'm on Sidonian as well. I'll be in more Sidonian videos, so...
But yeah, I'll be reading all of those. The plan is at the moment to read them all in a day, and make a video out of it. So to move on, this game came out for Switch yesterday. I've been playing through it since then. I'm going to carry on playing through it after we finish recording, and it's good. I've just finished World 2. It's a really good game actually. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. So it's not. It's not Mario Odyssey. It's not.
Oh, was it? Oh, was it a bit of a step down?
Well, it came out before. It's a Wii re-release.
It's a port. Okay, no, I'm with you. I didn't know that. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it is a port, but they've added they've tacked on the Bowser's Fury bit at the end of the game. As you can see, it's they're trying to make it seem like it's a big part of it.
Right.
I haven't read too much into it because I knew a lot about the original game just from watching streamers.
I've seen bits and bobs about Bowser's Fury, and that's the first thing I said to you when you were telling me about it. It's like, oh, is that when you could do like Godzilla fights but with Mario? Yes, that's essentially the mechanics, isn't it? Your Mario gets really big.
It seems to be. I've seen the trailer, but I'm trying to stay away from everything else just so I can play through it myself.
Well, I apologise for the spoilers there.
No, sorry, I've seen the trailer.
The last thing that I'll touch on very, 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 very briefly is I played Muffin Time last night, which is like that's the tabletop game made by the creators of Asdef movie. So it's basically like a Cards Against Humanity thing.
Tomska.
But with like ADSF references and things like that. You met Tomska, didn't you? Like back in the day.
I did. You did? Yeah, that's a really weird thing for you to remember. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I met him at a convention. Really, it seemed like a really nice bloke.
No, yeah, he's proper dead to earth, man. And even like the rules of play are like written in that Astef style. Like there's one line that's like, you can place a trap card if you want or not. Nothing in life means anything, anyways. But no, it's quite an infuriating game that like you can really stiff it to other players. While you're kind of playing, my son just wasn't happy with me last night. He went to bed with a huge headache last night because and my throat's a little bit sore this morning because the injustice of it all was just too much for him. Bless him.
Oh no! So you'll have to bring that next
Absolutely.
time when we can see each other again.
Yeah.
And we'll give it a go.
No, I value our friendship too much, Jord. I wouldn't want it to end that way, to be honest with you.
We've got. It's funny you mentioned that. We've got what's it called? It was by the Oatmeal. A game about cats and exploding
kittens. Yes. I know of that.
So we've got that and the expansion. The expansion kit, which is amazingly named Imploding Kittens. So have a bit of a game, nice.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely.
Maybe make a bit of a video about it.
Yeah, I'm getting more into like the tabletop kind of card games. It's never really been my thing, but I'm kind of getting a little bit more well versed, as it were. Do you know what I mean? I'm expanding my horizons with all the tabletop card games and anime and manga. It's like I've already been a massive geek for years now, Jordan. I might as well finish the job. Just
go all in, mate. Exactly. You've got to go all in.
I think that's a podcast, isn't it, Jordan?
That's what we in the business call a podcast,
that was sick,
mate.
Man. I really enjoyed that.
It was good.
We thought it might be a good idea for someone who is like a total anime virgin and doesn't really watch anything outside of Digimon. Do you know what I mean? I am watching the 2020 reboot of Digimon Adventure, so do you know what I mean? I do watch some anime. Like it's very shonen. Do you know what I mean? It's not. A proper anime, but I'm gonna binge watch all of Attack on Titan by the time that we record 7 days from now, and
I think you're gonna struggle with that, but I'm all for you trying.
I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a damn good go. Do you know what I mean?
Well, at least to the end of season 3. Season one's twice as long as season 2 and 3, I think. So it's more like 2 seasons. Right.
Is there any filler that I can skip, or do I need to watch it all?
I wouldn't skip a single thing, because even what I would have described as filler earlier on will come back.
Okay, fair play.
Stuff like season 4, and season 4 is currently airing, and so maybe
that's everywhere. That's the main thing that attracts me to it. Apparently, season 4 is like the shit. It's so good.
So good.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good, mate.
Okey-dokey.
I can't wait to be able to talk to you about it. But until then, I've been Jord,
You have, and I've been Jamie. Thank you so much for listening, especially if you've made it through to the end. That'd be fucking amazing if you have. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We will soon be available everywhere you can get your podcast.
Yes.
You can find Jord on Twitter. His handle is there. You can.
I'll do it. Yeah.
You could.
I'll put it.
You can follow me if you like your metal. I'm in a band. I'm the vocalist. We're called Ataka Official. If you see me in real life, though, leave me alone. But follow my band, please. So, yep, nice one. Thank you very much, John. I really enjoyed that, mate. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
If we don't fuck up the recording.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna hit that button. I hope to fuck that this podcast actually reaches you guys, but I'm gonna hit that button just now. All right.
Yeah, I'm pressing the button.
Nice.
My pod is busted, my pod is pure. I've got a Mukkapod, his name is Jord. It's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod, it's Mukkapod, and we're gonna talk about some characters that ain't even real, and hope someone gives a shit.